Something I see posted every single day is that Nintendo should move the reveal of the Switch 2 up to kind of circumvent the leaks and get ahead of everything, as every single day now, I mean, we are constantly having more and more leaks from accessory manufacturers. I've said my piece on it at this point, but even today, we had the a leak of like the little Mario Kart kind of racing wheel kind of accessory here for the Joy-Con. So every single day, there are more and more accessories being leaked for this thing that give us an even better look at the console and the buttons on it. The C button, which I haven't talked too much about. I think I might do a separate video on that. But will Nintendo move the reveal up? So we have an insider that is seemingly suggesting they might actually move things up and kind of speedrun their plans here. At this point, in my opinion, it's like a little too late, right? Like, we've already seen the console. If they had gotten ahead of it in September, October, it would have been fine, but they waited too long, and now we know basically everything about the visual identity of this hardware. But we have Samus Hunter on Twitter over here saying, Nintendo may advance the next generation Switch reveal with an announcement that could possibly come before Donkey Kong, so I believe that releases on January 16th. This is to address recent leaks, especially of accessories, to ensure official news for the public. The remaining announcements of Switch games may come a little later. So we've heard about like a February Direct, maybe we focus on Switch 1 games, maybe we still get that. But for me, up until this point, I was expecting like a later January reveal for the Switch 2, right? Like maybe even third or fourth week of January, like right before their investor meeting, which is on February 4th. But based on this entire idea of them moving plans forward a little bit to get ahead of the leaks from, you know, them getting any worse, it sounds like we might get it at the start of the new year. Just fact-checking it real quick. Yeah, Donkey Kong releases on January 16th, and if it happens before that, there's not very many slots, right? So the first week of January, you have, of course, New Year's. That's on a Wednesday. I guess they could reveal it on January 2nd, but I really don't think they would. I think they would leave that week empty. So really what we're looking at is a potential reveal from Monday, January 6th through to, I guess you could say, like Wednesday the 15th, in that range, if this is all true, if this is to be believed. And it's not just Samus Hunter saying it. We've heard quite a few things from other people, including Christopher Drang here, who said he has heard chatter that a Switch 2 reveal or something Switch 2 related will occur, quote, right when the new year starts. Now, Chris Drang did specify and really put an asterisk on it, saying it's just chatter that he's heard, you know, scuttlebutt, that kind of thing. He said, I mean, it's chatter. I want to stress it before Nintendo Everything or whatever it's called starts reporting my comments as fact. It's just chatter from other people, they think. I'm told it may even be right when the new year starts, which is great for someone who may have just left their job in the media. We might be getting a sort of Switch 2 reveal, or at least something right when the new year starts, which is very, very interesting. Then we had Next Handheld, the Reddit leaker right now, whose authenticity is still up in the air. We don't know if this person is legit or not. I still lean towards them being a fraud, but you know what? If they're right, I have to give them their flowers. If this is a real leak, if they have held the Switch 2 and everything they're saying is accurate, which, to be fair, there's no holes in what they've said so far, right? Like, everything they've said could be true. If they're completely, you know, trustworthy, then I got to give them their flowers. So a day ago in the thread, they said it was releasing in March, right? Then someone said this contradicts the last leaks we got about it releasing in June. How high is the chance a March release is in outdated information? Next Handheld said it could be. All I've been told is there's a Nintendo meeting around the 10th or 11th of January, which is likely around announcements and a mid-March launch. So Next Handheld is saying the information might be outdated, that kind of thing. But really the interesting thing here is that January 10th or 11th reveal for the console, or Nintendo meeting around that time, right? He's not saying it's necessarily going to be the reveal of the Switch 2, but that there will be some sort of Nintendo meeting at that point. That is extremely intriguing, and it does make me wonder if maybe it's not Nintendo moving it up, right? Maybe this was always the plan, but I think for a lot of us, like, the first 2 weeks of January were just kind of off the table. Not because I think they want to wait until after Donkey Kong to releases, you know, to reveal it. I don't think they care about Donkey Kong and how it's going to perform and how it might underperform if they announce the Switch 2. I don't think that's a factor in their minds, really. I just figured, you know, you want to have that first full week of getting back into the office, that kind of thing, after the new year, after the holiday period, and then you ramp up towards an end of January reveal. But if it is releasing in March, you want to reveal it as soon as possible. And it still makes me question why they didn't announce it in like, you know, November or October, even, you know, would have been even more suitable if it is a March release. But yeah, we have several people saying now that they're hearing it's getting revealed not just in January, but at like the beginning of January, the first half of the month in January, which is That's very interesting, and it has me kind of scratching my head. I want to believe this because, once again, you all know me. I've been coping on a March 2025 release for years now. Even back when everybody was saying it's going to come out in 2024, even when people were still saying 2023. Quite frankly, I've been saying March 2025. I want that to be the time it releases. I don't want to have to wait until June. If we do have to wait until June, that's fine. And if we do have to wait until June, it would still probably be beneficial to them to reveal it as soon as possible, but then I don't know if like a second week of January reveal is as pressing as it currently is. I guess the main question is it really, are they that worried about the accessory leaks and other leaks that they would move their plans up? I think it's very possible that the plan always was, let's say they're going to announce it on January 10th or 11th, right? That's possible that was always the plan, but let's say it wasn't the plan, would they move that reveal up because of the leaks? That I find hard to believe, to be completely honest, because they would have known, right? There's no way they wouldn't have known, because the thing started leaking in September. That was when we started getting like concrete, like, images of like the shell and stuff from prototypes from, I think, October 2023. Like, we've been seeing this console for months now. They had time to move it forward. I guess maybe it really was the holiday sales, man. Maybe they didn't want to reveal it before Christmas, so they were kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place, and no matter what they did, they were going to lose in that situation. So maybe a first week of January reveal is possible. That is extremely exciting, though. I mean, it's currently December 17th, guys. We might literally be like 20 days away from the reveal of the Switch 2. I'm not sold on it, though. Like, I'm not going to get my hopes up, because quite frankly, every source I showed in this video is very dubious. Samus Hunter has been on a killer streak recently, but before that, Samus Hunter was like a meme leaker because everything they said was wrong. They've been on a tear recently. I gotta give them props for that, but overall, their track record is spotty. You have Chris Drang, who is, a reporter for GamesIndustry.biz. He has said a lot of things that are just completely wrong about the Switch 2 and Nintendo in general. Of course, he was the one who famously said that Mario Wonder was like a C-Team game and that Tears of the Kingdom was the last major Switch game, when even if you don't count Pikmin 4 or Mario Wonder, we still have Pokemon Legends ZA and Metroid Prime 4, so Christopher Drang, maybe not, don't take his word as gospel. I mean, he even said it's just chatter, to be fair, to his credit. So there's that. And then you have Next Handheld, who, listen, I know it's like a war right now of people who believe him and people who don't. And it's really funny. This is all happening right now. Like, there's like a split. There's a division in the Switch 2 community right now of like, do you believe Next Handheld or not? A lot of people do. A lot of people do believe that this guy is from the future and has the Switch 2. But we'll have to wait and see, man. Now, what's interesting is he said he's heard there's a Nintendo meeting around the 10th or 11th. Now, if you actually look at what the 10th or 11th are, that's a Friday and Saturday, which certainly seems odd. Depending on what this actually is, that's not actually that surprising. If you look back to the Switch Mega presentation in January of 2017, that was on a Thursday here in North America, here in the US. However, I was on the East Coast at that time. I believe it was at 11 p.m. my time at that point on Thursday night. So if they did like a Friday presentation, maybe Friday is like the Japanese time, right? Maybe that's what day it'll be in Europe, whereas in America it'll be Thursday. That's not impossible, in my opinion. I guess the question then becomes, well, does that mean we get a tease even sooner? And what shape is this January 10th or 11th meeting gonna take, right? Like, is this gonna be just a 3-minute teaser trailer that comes out, or is this like a meeting, like a live conference, a live reveal of this console? Is it gonna be a direct? If it's releasing as soon as March, and reading into what these insiders are saying about them moving up the release and having it happen like as soon as the new year starts, I think it's possible that we straight up get a tease of the console, like, I mean, like, honestly, maybe January 2nd or January 3rd, right? If this is all true. And then they'll announce at that point, like, hey, 1 week from now, we're going to have a big presentation. If it's releasing in March, they need to get the ball rolling. And, I mean, what better way to start the year than on literally January 2nd or 3rd being like, hey, here's a tease of our next console. Stay tuned next week for a full presentation, a full Nintendo Direct presentation, or our live conference, however they're going to do it. I assume it'll be a Direct, because the live aspects of the January 2017 presentation were definitely the low points of that event, even though the event itself had a lot of great announcements. It being live, I think, was a mistake. they could expedite this thing, man, and they could have a reveal the first week and then a bigger presentation the second week. Maybe we get that February Nintendo Direct focus on Switch 1 games. Maybe we see more Xenoblade X there. Maybe they announce a couple of these final things we're expecting, like Samus Hunter said, and then we get the console in March. Samus Hunter is still saying it's releasing in June, as per like Nate the Hate and all that, and I mean that's totally possible. Maybe the information Next Handheld has is outdated. Maybe Next Handheld is a fraud. I want to believe March, though. I truly do. So we will have to wait and see. Let me know your thoughts on all this in the comments down below. What do you think of Nintendo potentially moving their reveal plans up for this console to counteract all of the leaks? I see that post every day, man. It's like, oh, Nintendo needs to get ahead of it. Nintendo needs to get ahead of it. And on the one hand, I agree that they should have gotten ahead of it. On the other hand, I feel like it's too late, man. Like, unless games start leaking, which I don't really know how that would happen, at least from a first-party perspective. The accessories are leaking because manufacturing is actually happening, and the console is leaking because manufacturing is underway, right? Like, this thing's being made. We've heard that it's done. There are retail units waiting in a warehouse somewhere for release. It's just a matter of, when it's revealed. I guess as of right now, Nintendo could still be scared of, like, an actual, like, full retail unit getting into someone's hands who has full reign over it, right? Like, Next Handheld was saying that he only had it for a little bit and, like, got his hands on it for a little bit, so he doesn't actually have one that he can turn on and all that. So maybe they're afraid of that happening, and maybe that's a reason enough for them to move this thing forward, right? I think that's possible. It is worth noting that Next Handheld's saying he's going to reveal it on Christmas still, or like show or share the images that he has on Christmas, because he thinks that by then more people will have it or have seen it or have the information he has access to. That I think is a major red flag, though, because I mean Christmas is a week away. Yeah, it's possible by then that more people would have, access to, let's say if it's in a warehouse that he got it from, or like maybe there'll be more warehouse workers that, get their hands on it. But that to me, it feels a little presumptuous. That to me feels like if you're trying to save your hide right now and not get caught by Nintendo, I don't know if one more week is really going to be the difference in terms of making you untraceable for whatever images you have that you can leak. I believe there were some other Reddit mods that got a look at the images that Next Handheld has, and they were saying that, it seems legit, but making fake images is easier now than ever. So it's really up in the air, but I would like to hear what you guys think in the comments down below. What do you think of them moving up their reveal to early January as opposed to maybe late January or early February? What form do you think that'll take? Do you agree with me that maybe, if this is all true, if we are getting it in early January, we maybe even get a reveal on like the second or third, a 3-minute teaser or something very short that kind of shows the console. Maybe it says Nintendo Switch 2, the future of Nintendo, tune in next week, and then a week later we get that big presentation. I think if it's actually being expedited and they want to get ahead of everything, that might be our likeliest outcome, but also our best case scenario when it comes to the Switch 2 reveal. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What do you think is going to happen? Of course, I will be keeping you all updated on all the leaks and rumors. I mean, it's been absolutely crazy the past couple of days. Like I said, there's been accessories just every day. Like this one came out this morning of a Joy-Con racing wheel, which is always funny to me because I don't think anybody used this thing for the current Switch, right? Like this died with the Wii. We also have like the little controller grip thing here for the Joy-Con itself, where you can see that magnetic slider there. So this is interesting. I think this might technically be our first look at what it might look like with the grip one. You know how the Joy-Con have the little slide on rail thing, so you have the bigger buttons. Obviously, I don't think this would be like the official thing from Nintendo, right? This is some random third-party Chinese manufacturer, probably. But the plus and minus buttons right here, that might be an actual look at what we could expect that to be. It's more angular, I guess, to fit on because of the magnets. But I'm not really covering the accessory stuff anymore because it's just out of control and it's stuff every single day, right? Like I cannot keep up with the accessories. So any other rumors outside of that, though, like reveal timing, games, that kind of thing, I will definitely be covering. I want to do a video on third-party stuff because there were a couple interesting things said by Samus Hunter the past couple of days. So I think tomorrow or the next day I'll do that. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on all this in the comments down below. Of course, subscribe here for more Nintendo Switch 2 news, discussions, theories, all that fun stuff. Follow me on Twitter at BoTalksGames and check out my other channel at It's Amiibo as well. Until next time, folks. Peace.